Market slipping lower, the Nifty around 10,630, and that's primarily on account of HDFC. That fair weight on the index currently sitting at the low point of the day reports its third quarter numbers, so keep an eye out on that stock. But the stock on our radar is Zen Technologies. Sees some profit taking on the back of a strong third quarter numbers. To discuss their numbers and the outlook going forward, we have Ashok Atluri, the CMD of the company, joining us on the phone line. Thanks a lot, Mr. Atluri, for joining in. First up, if you could break up your revenue for us in terms of your AMC, your servicing of the simulators as well as the products. How many of you sold, and what is the price at which you've sold each of them?
Yeah, so the product sales are about 28.5 crores, and the annual maintenance income is about 5.5 crores. That's the major breakup. Okay. And we have also about 1.5 crore of export revenue in that. That's, I think, just a teaser for what they wanted to buy in the future. But that's the major breakup, 28.5 and 5.5.
Okay. All right, Mr. Atluri, if you could give us a sense of how many simulators have you sold in the last quarter, and how many are pending? How many can you sell in the coming quarter as well? Because this 34 crores is the best we have seen all the way since December 2016.
Yeah. So, the total requirement is about 100 simulators. We have supplied about 17 of those from that.
Okay.
And another 80 plus have to be supplied now.
80 plus have to be supplied.
Yeah. But the revenue is not just because of the simulator. There are other revenues also. This is from the major order that we got. I was talking about.
Okay.
So.
You're saying each simulator sells for 1.7, 1.8 crore rupees?
About 1.5, yeah. Okay,
1.5 crores. So remainder 83 simulators, by when do you sell them, and do you sell them how many do you sell it in this quarter, the quarter?
We have given a statement to the stock exchange saying that we expect the execution to happen by the Q1 of 2020, but we think it should be done by that time. By in the next 2 quarters, so in this JFM and April to June quarter.
April to June quarter. Okay. So then for the next couple of quarters, you're expecting a higher revenue recognition. What kind of a revenue outlook guidance can you give for quarter 4?
No, I would not give any guidance, but yes, we want to execute the order, which is about altogether about 160 crores in this.
Mr. Atluri, we just take your numbers only. This quarter you've done close to around 30 crores from simulators. 160 is the total order. You say you will complete this order by the next 2 quarters. That leaves us is 130 crore in the next 2 orders. So next 2 quarters, your revenue is at least likely to be 65 crores?
Yeah, so it will be about 110 is what is 120 will be about remaining. Yeah, you're right about that. Yeah.
So the next couple of quarters, per quarter 65 crores is what you'll do.
So I would not say exactly in that ratio.
But you could give us a range.
Yeah, it will be about 120 crores in the next 2 quarters.
Okay, all right. What about, if you could tell us, when does the operating leverage kick in? Because you're doing big margins
We have a break-even point of about 45 lakhs in a year. So after that, the leverage kicks in.
45?
Crores.
45 crores
turnover, 45 crores turnover is our break-even point. After that, we start making more profit.
And that is per year you're talking about?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
The street is always cautious on Zen Technologies because they want to know where is the visibility. Are you expecting more orders to come in? We have seen for many quarters there was no revenue. Suddenly now a couple of quarters will be good revenues. So are you expecting any export orders? You have mentioned about that in the annual report. So any export orders expected, any domestic orders expected? And will a change of government, if at all, will it affect your order book?
Okay, so let me take the first thing, that these are expected orders, this is expected execution. We have indicated earlier that these 3 quarters execution will go on. So there is no unexpectedness in the revenue being recognized.
Okay.
Number 2 is that is the visibility there. Again, we as promoters, we feel that there's too many good things happening, and that our vote of confidence was by way of, further investment in the company. In addition to the need for the funds, the company had some need for the funds, so we have invested. And so these are the main points. What was another question, last question you had? The government risk. I think, very frankly, I don't think there are any risk related to the government, because the policies that were very, very pro-Indian design and development are already in place.
Right.
And the whole mindset is that in the government is, listen, we have to buy Indian goods if they are available, Indian equipment that's available. I think that it will be very, very difficult to change no matter which government is in place.
All right, Mr. Atluri, thanks a lot for joining in. The street will definitely keep an eye out on the quarterly numbers that you're talking about over the next 2 quarters. More importantly, visibility and the promoter's stake is being pledged for the last 2 years as well. So that is something we'll keep an eye out on, especially in the light of what's taking place with pledged shares. On that note, we'll wrap up on this edition of Chartbusters. You stay tuned to CNBC TV 18.